calls Han Solo a bitch.
Bring him on. I prefer a straight fight to all this sneaking around.
I don't know where you get your delusions, laser brain.
Oh, come on, bro. It's the wars.
Both shows keep rolling along, and Star Wars is making big waves this week. This is The Wars and More. I'm Joe, and of course with me is my good buddy Doug. Hey, Doug, how you doing this week?
Doing pretty good, Joe. How you doing? Big waves. Nice. It's a tsunami, I tell you.
You know, sometimes I'm just like, can I throw Doug off right from the start? Can I do a pun so bad?
No, it's great. I loved it. I laughed.
It's good fun. It really is.
Oh my gosh.
Like this one went into like almost dad joke territory, right?
Oh, it was there. Trust me. Trust me. Take it from a dad. It was there. My kids would have totally rolled their eyes at me. There's no doubt about it.
So I love it when you're just like you're just laughing. You're like, yeah, how you doing?
Right.
Right. That might be a new record, off the rails in 45 seconds.
Yep. I think, we're off to a good start for sure.
So yeah, I mean, we're back talking Mandalorian, Bad Batch. First up, obviously, is going to be the Bad Batch, season 2, episode 13. Pabu?
Yes, Pabu.
Did I pronounce that right?
Yes. Excellent job. Yes, Pabu.
I'm just like, is it Pabu? Is it Pabu? Who knows? Who knows? Done trying.
Done trying. I like it. Yep. Pabu. Yeah. Basically, I don't know. Look kind of like, I don't know, like pictures I've seen of Greece or something. Nice island.
Oh yeah, Greece.
I don't know. I don't know. Like I said, I've only seen pictures. I've never been there, so I really can't speak on it. But that's what came to my mind.
Yeah, I mean, so I gotta ask: is it like nice island? Is that all that's on this planet? Like it's just a planet of water with one little island?
I think we are led to believe this.
It really, because they said, "Aren't you afraid of the Empire coming?" It's like, well, we're just an island with limited resources. I'm like, that's all that's here?
Right. Yeah. Yeah. You'd think there'd be more.
Apparently not.
Apparently not.
Don't know what's causing the earthquake.
Well, I mean, there's got to be like a mantle somewhere.
Well, I'm sure.
But
I'm sure. I don't know why they would. Yeah, I don't know. You would think with that kind of activity, it'd be a little bigger.
Yeah, you would think. That's
because I assume volcano.
Right. Yeah. I did have that thought as well, which if it's a volcano, I don't want to be the people living on top of that sucker.
No, I was thinking underwater volcano.
Oh, underwater. Oh, it could be.
Yeah, seismic activity, island.
Well, then they're going to make more islands. That'd be great.
Right. That's what I'm saying. I thought it'd be bigger.
It's just taking a while.
New planet. Just
Right.
formed. So, anywho.
Yeah.
Where to start? Obviously the start, right? Like, was it Fee, right?
Yeah, Fee.
Doing a deal.
Oh, right. Yes. For the bonsai tree.
Yeah, I but like not even a bonsai tree, but a jade bonsai tree.
Exactly. The jade bonsai tree. Yes.
It has no monetary value.
Except she brought a lot of money, apparently.
Right. That they took with them.
Yes. I did notice that. And that was all Omega. I mean,
mm-hmm. Yeah, Omega's a little thief.
Yeah, as soon as the shooting started, she's like, oh, not getting our money. Taking the dough with me.
But here's where I had an issue.
Okay.
No real monetary value to this artifact.
Right.
Whole bunch of money in a briefcase.
Yes.
They still want to kill her.
Yeah. That was kind of strange.
For what?
I don't know. Because you would think if there's no real monetary value, who cares, right? I mean,
yeah.
Take the bonsai tree and leave. I'll take your money. Yeah, I don't know. That was weird. But I mean,
yeah, I kind of felt odd going into this. Like, we're starting the episode. I'm like, really? We're going to start with a plot hole?
Right. Yes, we are.
Like, first off, how the hell did they get here?
Yeah, not sure. I mean, that's just got to be a fee deal, you know? She wanted some backup on this deal. She really wanted the artifact. So,
yeah,
bring some muscle. Bad Batch works for that. So,
she hires them direct now. Then,
yeah. Well, okay, so that came out after they got away from all this, you know, with the call they got from Sid, and that's when Fee's like, so you guys got a plan here or what? Because, you know, you don't want Sid on your bad side. So this is turning out to be, I think this is going to be our climax to this season here.
Yeah, Sid's Jabba the Hutt.
Kinda, yeah. Yeah. Which could work. And a nice little threat Sid made there, you know.
Which part of it?
Well, where she said, I'm not talking about just you boys, kind of thing.
Oh, yeah. About Omega?
Yeah, that's what I would assume, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what the threat is there. I guess.
Well, okay, so Sid's got info on them, right? She knows all about them. She knows their clones
right.
on
the issue
run.
I'm having with here is, how does Sid know that Omega's higher value?
She's different. I mean,
okay.
I mean, that's the only answer I got as of right now. But I mean,
because there was the tease with what's his name, the bad guy from last episode, with the jacked up hand.
Oh man,
what was his name?
Like Mako or something like that.
Mako, like the shark,
right? Yeah.
I'm trying. Okay, this was the wrong thing to go to. It's got this guy did Saw Gerrera's voice. It's like, that was not that episode. Hemlock. Yeah. Just like Mako.
Well, I might be thinking of a different episode then. Okay. Anyway, go ahead.
They just finished that episode where Hemlock is trying to get something out of Nalase, right? And
yeah, that episode, right? Yes.
So they get Lama Su for information, and Lama Su puts him onto the track that Omega is the answer to get Nalase to talk.
Right.
How the hell does Sid now know that? Like, that's where I get that.
Yeah.
that,
Okay.
right. Like,
so, okay. I see your logic. I'm guessing,
unless there's an Imperial bulletin out or something looking for Omega, but they're not going to do that because Omega and Clone Force 99 are supposed to be dead.
Right.
That still hasn't come out yet, even though the other guy killing it right now with names.
Yeah.
Even though he was arrested after being used by the Emperor for a ploy. The first bad guy.
The first bad guy. Oh,
Rampart.
man. Rampart. Yeah. See, I knew that too.
I knew it would come to me.
Right.
I was getting ready to search it. I'm like, oh, this is going well. I got to search everything.
Yep. It's great.
Sounds like I'm not paying attention.
Oh boy. I love it. Wow.
But
I will say
Rampart never let it out that 99 was still alive.
right.
And that would include Omega.
True. Yeah.
So I doubt a bulletin for Omega traveling around with 99 would be just released. So
Okay.
I'm just wondering why Sid knew to use that as a threat, because it just doesn't seem like Sid would know that Omega was super high value.
But she's going to play on the emotions of the guys in Clone Force 99. So, I mean, that'll do it too. They all care about Omega. So,
Right, but like, I don't know. I'm just thinking of the threat, and I'm like, why would the Empire care? You see what I'm saying? So you're going to make the threat,
right.
but if the threat's hollow, what goes to the threat?
I don't know. Maybe there's something we don't know about.
Maybe.
I don't know.
I mean, because the weight behind the threat is going to be, yeah, she's traveling with 99.
Right, and they're going to, oh, well, Clone Force 99 is no more. Right?
Maybe.
If that's what, yeah, but.
No, that's not what I'm saying. Like, she's making a threat about Omega. Just, like, giving away those boys would inherently mean Omega is in danger, too.
Sure.
Adding Omega to the threat doesn't really mean nothing. That's what I'm saying. So saying I don't just mean you boys, like, oh, you're going to report her too? They're going to be like, what the hell are you talking about?
Yeah, I get what you're saying, but it would mean more to them. Meaning they want to protect Omega. You know, that's kind of part of their thing now. So,
right.
That's just, I don't know.
Yeah, I guess you're right. That's why they just keep keeping her out of danger.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. Her training is coming along just fine. So.
Oh, they said that.
Exactly.
I don't know. It all just seemed a little odd to me.
Oh, it is. There's no doubt. I mean, that right there, it's probably about got as much substance as the bonsai tree with no value that they want to kill Fee over. So
right, and it had to use the little what do they call those worms? The
ones they sent after Padme.
Yeah. I was like, oh, here's the point. They're using those.
Right.
And why okay. Can you train these things or something? Because this guy released it like under his legs. It seems like if that thing was just like looking to kill it, just like bite him.
Right. Exactly. Hey, apparently the answer is yes. So they knew right where to go.
Yeah, just ignore the 4 dudes that are closer. And then like go all the way up the chair.
Oh, I know. Instead of just like stabbing her in the leg.
Well, I mean, she did pick her legs up and put them on the table.
Oh, true. There you go.
But like, why not just go for like come up the chair and like bite the thigh? Why go all the way to the top? But I guess, you know what? I guess maybe it's trying to get to the neck or something like that. Because
it's possible.
With Padme, they went all the way up, right? Went right past the legs.
Yeah, I think so.
Because Anakin like sliced them in half and they were up, by her shoulders.
Yes.
So, not a very effective worm.
Right. We've seen it deployed twice and
centipede, whatever it is,
and foiled twice. So
it just takes too damn long.
Right.
And if it's got to get all the way up there, I guess its venom ain't that bad.
Right.
I mean, most dangerous snakes could bite you in the toe. It's bad.
Yes, this is true. So, okay. Beyond the Sid stuff, that's
Yeah.
clearly going to be our climax this season, I think. This island, they arrive, basically it's paradise, and clearly everything's got to go wrong, right? I mean, you're just waiting for it. Like,
Not before you have space sushi.
well, I mean, that's part of the perfection, isn't it? I mean, of paradise.
Is it?
I don't know. I've never had sushi, so I don't know. But I'm just
If they would have had some like frozen drinks, I'd have been like, oh, come on.
Hey,
But-
they had some drinks. They were drinking.
Yeah, it looked like water.
You don't know what was in there.
Okay, it looked like vodka and water.
There you go. Hey, so, anyway, everything's looking great. Something's got to go wrong, and apparently on this planet that has one island, we're going to have a tsunami. So, that was strange. Couple little tremors, and then tsunami. Yeah, that, I must say, seemed a little strange to me, but
I thought the tsunami built pretty fast. I was like, wow.
oh, sure.
I mean, it only went out like half a mile, and it's as tall as half the island.
Exactly. Yeah. This whole episode did seem like this is simply going to be a device to get these guys on this planet.
I get that. But I guess the reason why I'm a little complainy, I guess,
It's okay. Complain away.
is just that I feel like we're making this comment a lot this season. Well, this episode is just a device to get them here. It's like,
Yeah.
well, it's literally half the season.
Right. There has been a lot of that with this season for sure.
And if it's not a device to get them somewhere, it's a side quest.
Right.
The continuity of this season is just odd to me.
It has been.
And they lay stuff out there like you're supposed to know. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like this whole Sid thing. You're supposed to know that this relationship has completely deteriorated.
Yeah. We know that it has, but
right.
did we really realize that it was to the point where they're cutting ties and it's just over? No. I'm with you there. Because that was just like, oh, okay. You're done? Okay. I guess you're done then. But I mean,
Right.
It was kind of confirmed in this episode. So when it comes to that kind of stuff, yes, it's been a little on the weaker side here.
Right.
So I don't know. I'm for me, okay, this is Star Wars, right? If they're going to find this paradise island on this planet of water or whatever, and we're going to, what can be endangering this island? Ooh, a giant wave. Okay, how do we get that? An earthquake and a tsunami. Sounds an awful lot like real worldy stuff to me. So, if I were the one pitching a story, I'd be like, maybe we need an asteroid or something like that. Something, boom, everything shakes, and then tech can say, I've detected something entering the atmosphere, hundreds of kilometers away, but we need to prepare for blah, blah, blah. It'll be here in moments, something like that. That's more Star Warsy to me. I just, and I'm not telling them what to do, but it's like, I feel like a little creativity here is kind of like started to wane in this show.
Yeah, this show seems like it really feels like this show has moved into filler territory.
Yeah.
It's just kind of filling the gap for the Mandalorian or the Book of Boba Fett or Ahsoka.
Right. Yes. which we're playing at the same time as the Mandalorian. It's like, okay,
Right. This doesn't feel like Star Wars animation has. I mean, even the side quest stuff before, it would get a couple episodes. It would build up. It would be its own little story. This flies through all that other stuff. Like, this episode spent more time building up the fact that they found an island retreat.
Right.
And less advancing any kind of connecting story. And I guess the end result was not a connecting story at all, other than they're going to hang out here for a while, even though we got 3 episodes left.
Right. That's the thing.
Like, this felt like a season conclusion or a mid-season break, right? Like, not an episode before the final 4.
Yeah, I will say it probably did okay for me to set up for whatever's coming, except just okay. You know, it's like we know where it's going. You've telegraphed that to us. You know, not very well, but yeah, you've telegraphed it.
Right.
So, I get that, and I guess it'll work in that way, but it's like, just could have been done better, you know? I mean,
right.
I don't know. You talk about sushi, I talk about a tsunami. It's like, those things don't seem like Star Wars.
Japan.
Exactly. That is true. There you go. Yeah.
I mean, that's what it felt like.
Yeah.
I should. They even made the island look like a nuclear reactor.
Really? Oh, I didn't notice that part, but okay.
Well, it's just as big. I mean, not quite, but it's just this cone, right?
Oh, I see it.
The whole island's just a cone. There's no beach.
It's like a big cooling tower, and that's
Yeah, it just looks like a big cooling tower. Like, I mean, it didn't look like a mug, like a
right. Oh, well, I don't know. I guess we'll see how this plays into things moving forward. I'm sure it's going to. And we'll take it from there. I mean, I hope there's more creativity involved moving forward, because that would be helpful.
I'll say this. They're not setting up for anything to happen on this island. They can't be.
I wouldn't think so, because it's just been...
There's now nowhere for anyone to hide.
Right.
Because they destroyed the rest of it.
Yep.
Everybody's going to be in the middle. Yeah. You can't do anything there because everybody else is just sitting ducks. Like, you're just...
Right.
I am impressed, though. They were able to save literally everyone.
Yeah, everyone. Yeah. Convenient that the last one getting saved was the first one we meet when they're walking around the island.
So, I don't know. This is just a little, I guess it's a little gripey, just because I just feel like this has been the trend for episodes this season.
Yeah.
And anytime we do something that feels like it's advancing the story of the group, we do this.
Right.
And I don't know.
No, I'm with you. I think this could have been done a lot better. You know, a little more creativity. I gave my example earlier. You know, if you're gonna come to this island and have a big wave, you know, try and make it a spacey type of way to happen, you know, as opposed to, hey, look, this is how things happened here on Earth, you know, essentially. You know, make it something from space, you know, make it, you know, whatever. The Empire sends a probe droid or something, and that causes whatever. I don't know.
Probe droid?
I knew you were going to say that. You get what I'm saying, though. Something. I'm just talking, they sent probe droids and they just hit the planets, but I know they weren't big enough. But I'm just...
Yeah. Cause a tsunami?
something.
Nah.
But something,
Right.
So, I don't know. That's
Yeah,
how I
I'm
felt
with you.
about it. I just... A little more creativity there. That'd be great.
Yeah, it's almost like they're trying to, we're educational.
Almost. Yeah. Except we all lived through, we didn't live through it, but we witnessed it happen, 15 years ago. It's like, hey, look at that.
Yeah. That lasted longer than 4 seconds, but
Right, exactly.
yeah, I don't know. Seemed kind of lazy to me.
Agreed.
So, all right. The Mandalorian.
Right.
So we got season 3, episode 3, which is chapter 19, The Convert. That's really long to say it out loud.
Yes, it is.
So what you think?
What did I think? It's such an open-ended question.
I know. I love doing it.
Yeah, I know you do. So
We're on big waves today.
I feel like this was a Mandalorian sandwich episode, right? we booked.
So the Mandalorian.
Huh?
So the Mandalorian.
Yeah.
Yeah, we show the Mandalorian.
Right.
We tell the story of a completely different character.
Uh-huh.
And then we show the Mandalorian again.
Yes. Exactly.
Okay.
So
Apparently there's not enough material for the Mandalorian.
wow, you're hung up on every episode being just about him, huh?
No, but I'd like to get through a couple.
Well, we did. This is
Did we?
episode 3.
But 2 ended up being more about Bo-Katan.
Huh?
Yeah, the one that had a revelation, the end of 2 was like Bo-Katan. It's like he was unconscious for half the episode.
Okay. So, since he's still unconscious at the beginning of this episode, and Bo-Katan is...
And is it too much to ask that I get a few episodes in a row that are about the character that name is in the title?
Hey, you got some of that. That was good. I mean, you got it.
I got some of
Right.
All right.
Yeah. I was not disappointed with what we got. I'll say that.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I was going to open up with this week on Dr. Pershing.
Well, yeah, a lot of it was. But
yeah, about 80%.
Yeah. Anyway, Bo-Katan. Trying to go down a path here, Joe.
Yeah.
So she's
I'm trying
contemplating.
to.
Okay, that's it. Go ahead.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh, really?
For real this time. Go ahead.
So she's contemplating what she just saw when she saved Din from the depths of the waters, right? And
Living waters.
the living waters, right? So from that moment forward, clearly she's contemplating, even with her little round of questioning that she asked Din Djarin about, like, did you see anything? You see anything alive down there? And he's just like, what are you talking about? So then she knows. She's like, she's got this information all to herself that she saw the mythosaur.
Did she?
Huh?
Said, did she?
How are you questioning whether or not she did?
I'm just kind of wondering the way those waters glowed. I mean, are they the living waters or the hallucinating waters?
What the hell?
Just asking.
Okay, so she saw the mythosaur.
Okay.
Now, I'm expecting her to try and utilize this somehow to gain power within the Mandalorian culture, like go tame the mythosaur, whatever, something. I don't know, whatever. But I'm expecting her to try and use this to somehow garner favor with the rest of the Mandalorians. So, and I think she's keeping it from Din, and that's where she's at. And that's how I think we end up even leaving her in this episode. She's understanding that that's what she's got to do.
She's keeping it from him because she's going to try to tame it?
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay. So,
I thought she was keeping it from him because she thinks she's losing her mind.
Oh, really? Okay. But she...
I was only half joking about the hallucinating waters.
Okay, so we have all these legends of the Mandalorians taming the great mythosaur, right?
Of a Mandalorian.
Huh?
Of a Mandalorian.
Okay, so she wants to be that Mandalorian. I mean, that's what I'm saying. To garner favor with the rest of the Mandalorians. To say, look, I did this. I did what was this thing of legend. She's looking for power in the Mandalorian structure. I mean, that's what Bo-Katan's been all about, like, ever since we've known her. You know?
Right.
That's where I went with it. Anyway.
Okay. Yeah, I kind of feel like she's like, am I really like losing it? Like, did I actually see that? I felt like she was asking Din because she wanted confirmation.
That would be taking the story somewhere completely different for me.
I know.
I don't know where that would be going.
Me either. And I'll be honest. I mean, I don't think they're ever going to talk about it again.
Oh, that would be a big whiff. That's for sure. I think they have to.
Do they?
Yeah. I mean, especially...
We don't have to talk about the Mandalorian. Yeah, I did it.
Yeah, I know you did. So, I mean, even like the closing scenes where she looks up at that mythosaur skull thing on the wall in the covert.
Right.
I think that's calling back to it. Like she's thinking about that thing and she's just got to like bide her time, figure out a way to get back there.
You don't think it's just a symbolic thing?
Like, I think there's more to it.
Almost like religious wise. Like,
well,
she saw this. It's reaffirming these old ways and this belief that she was poo-pooing. She saw this creature down there, mythosaur.
Yep.
And it's reestablishing her faith in her beliefs from her childhood.
It could be.
I mean, that's really the reason that's really the way I think they're going with it. That's why I don't think you're going to see the mythosaur again.
But see, I think it goes hand in hand because
but
she can
yeah, go ahead.
She can start to regain her faith in the Mandalorian traditions and follow up on that, by trying to go recreate what the first Mandalore did or whatever, whoever it was there.
Maybe. I just think it was one of those, they showed her very much doubting, is she doing the right thing? Does she want to walk this path? Does she want to be like that? And the reason I think I'm going this route is because she made a comment before that. She says this is the way before they even get there. You know, like
You're talking last episode then.
no, didn't she say that this episode?
She did, but before they get where?
Before they even got to the covert.
Oh yeah, totally. Yeah, this is before we even got to Pershing. Yeah.
Yeah.
But what
I know it felt like another episode, but
So you're just gonna keep going back to that, aren't you?
it pisses me off.
Yeah. So she does say this is the way. She also says to Din, I'd offer you to come by for a feast, but you're probably not going to remove that helmet now, are you? You know, that doesn't sound to me like she's...
No, she's not fully committed
faithful.
yet. And
Right.
I think that's why you had the Mythosaur skull at the end of that. Because she's contemplating, like, well, I did see this thing.
Well...
Or at least I thought I did.
If we don't see it again, I will be disappointed. And then I think this was a much weaker episode than I was expecting, for sure, if that's the case.
But what? Let's just say that if it is used as a device to get Bo-Katan back on track and have her not be so dismissive of Mandalore and the culture, you know, of the people that follow the old ways. Is that really a miss if they don't go back to the Mythosaur? Because let me ask you this. Why do they call it the living waters?
Because there's a mythosaur living down there. I don't know.
Oh, that literal.
I mean, the same reason that Qui-Gon called it the living force. I don't know.
Here's my thing. He says, I didn't realize it'd be that deep. And she says it wasn't. Maybe the bombs
Right.
did this. I feel like it was a vision. And this is why it's the living waters.
I think she actually saw it.
I mean, I just don't understand how a bomb would make a lake out of a puddle. You know what I mean? Like, where'd the other water come from? Like,
Right.
how do you end up with these caverns? Like, it didn't look like something that was bombed.
Okay.
I mean, I guess unless there's just like a thin strip of land that extends out, and that's why this was shallow before, and the bombs broke that little bit, and it was a puddle above a lake.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like,
I mean, it's a much deeper aquifer than what.
right, and I understand it's in mines and things like that, and you
Right.
got all this the networks and systems, and I don't know. The living waters, because there's a mythosaur that's living there. I feel like that would be in the description.
Well, it was in the plaque that she read when they went down there that the mythosaur was believed to have lived down there. It was a mythosaur's cave or whatever.
The cave was.
Yeah.
I didn't realize the mythosaur was aquatic and could live underwater.
We know nothing about it, so.
Nothing about it because it's a myth.
Right. Okay.
It's in the damn name.
So what you're saying is she like just basically got stoned from the water.
Yes.
Okay. And then while stoned from the water, she was able to outfly some TIE fighters.
No, they were done being stoned from the water. She had to wait for him to wake up.
Oh, I see.
And there's obviously something in the water because the armorer can pour it in another puddle of water, and it's like, whoa, this water's doing something weird.
Yeah, well, did something weird.
Why? Because it's peyote water.
Peyote water. I love it.
It's religion stuff, man. They're throwing so much of that, like, yeah, peyote water.
Okay. This is great. So
he says this is great. He's like, man, this is wow.
yeah, well, so tell me what you thought of this TIE fighter battle here.
Oh, that was awesome. Yeah, I can see why Disney Plus is struggling to make money. Because, man, they are putting so much effort into these sequences for TV shows.
Right.
Essentially. Yeah, this sequence was great. I mean, what are you looking for me to say?
Oh, I don't know. I mean, yeah, I was just like moving the conversation forward. So,
you just wanted to get away from
no, just move it forward. Like, this is like it was a significant piece of this. So,
yes,
you know, I thought again, this TIE fighter battle was awesome, right? It looked amazing. You know, cool stuff about it. Like, got to see Bo-Katan perform the last one, that maneuver. It was like, I kind of like that maneuver even a little better than Poe Dameron's maneuver, right? But sliding around and all that. Anyway, and then,
right, especially her ship is a Concordia fighter, right?
Yeah, something like that. Yep.
Something like that. It's probably not the exact terminology, right? But it was some of the stuff that we got to see those fighters do in animation.
Right.
In the Clone Wars. Or at least similar ships.
Right.
I think it was the Clone. Was it Rebels?
It
was Rebels.
Sure. Might have been Rebels.
So when Sabine went to Concordia, makes a ton of sense, right?
Yeah, totally.
But we saw very similar ships there, and they did similar things with maneuvering, like completely turning 180 and
right. All that stuff was cool.
Mm-hmm.
Then we the ones that I thought were cool to see are the bombers, right?
Bombers.
Reminded me of, certain asteroid and Empire, but
yes, yeah, very similar.
So they blow up her castle.
Yeah, in a very what would be PTSD kind of way. Like Imperial bombers just bombing the crap out of something for someone who witnessed the destruction of Mandalore.
Oh, sure, I guess. Yeah. I mean,
it threw her into a straight up rage.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's like her home.
I know, but it was more than just like, that's my home. It was like, that's my home again.
Yes. Oh, totally.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure. I'm sure that had a lot to do with it. So, yes, when she gives chase, then we see this was the Han Solo and Chewie running down the halls of the Death Star, rounding the corner, and there's 8 billion stormtroopers. There's 8 billion TIE fighters coming right at her, and Din realizes this, helps her to get out. Now, she makes the comment, that's way too many TIE fighters for some Imperial warlord.
Mm-hmm.
What are your thoughts?
What are my thoughts?
Yes.
We're
not just dealing with some Imperial warlord here. Who might we be talking about here? Is this Gideon who escaped? Or somebody else?
Well, I don't think it's the somebody else you might be leading me into.
Okay, you're finally getting there? All right.
Wow, really?
What?
You're going to put it like that? You're finally getting there. No, I don't think it's Thrawn.
Okay.
I don't think it's Thrawn. I doubt if Thrawn comes back, Thrawn is like right back into the Empire that has failed.
Well, he's still going to have all of the Imperial resources that he had.
What resources?
I mean,
he went blasting off into nowhere with one other guy. He ain't got jack when he comes back.
okay.
That's why I feel that way.
Okay.
Like if he comes back, he doesn't have anything. He's nobody, especially if the Empire's fallen.
Okay.
I mean, unless he comes back and they're gonna go kind of heir to the Empire kind of route, and this guy's like the obvious leader for the remnants of the Empire. But I don't think they're gonna go that way because they went a completely different direction with Thrawn in the new canon.
Okay.
Because the Empire is not his focus. The Empire never really had his allegiance fully.
Right. Well, the Empire was a vehicle for him to pursue his own
Recruits for him helping his own people.
Right. So all of that I understand. So if this is going to be somebody new, I don't think it works as well. I think this
I don't
has
think it's
to be
someone new.
I think it has to be somebody we know.
And I think it will be. But it's not going to be one of the obvious.
Okay.
Like, I don't think it'll be Thrawn. I don't think it'll be Gideon.
Interesting.
But it's going to be someone we're familiar with. Maybe someone that has a connection to the future of the saga films.
Oh, you know
like
what?
what's his name? Pyre or whatever.
Pride.
I could see it being Pride.
I could see that. Okay. That would be interesting. Okay, I'll give you that one. That would be interesting. Huh.
I just don't see it being someone who was missing and then comes back and they're just like, "Oh, hey, you're in charge now."
Well, I mean,
and the reason I say that is because it's obvious that the Imperial remnants are already fraction. You know, that they're not unified.
Right. There's no doubt about that.
So I could see someone like Pride still commanding a decent contingent. And then having that contingent evolve into something like the First Order, or at least be one of the foundational pieces of the First Order.
Right. That would make sense. That I hadn't considered Pride, but now that we're talking about it, that would make sense.
Well, now you're getting there.
Yeah.
Make you pay for that one.
Oh. So, okay, I like that. It's a novel idea that you know we've come to. I like this. It's good. All right.
I mean, I'll say this: would I like it to be Thrawn? Absolutely.
Okay.
But I just don't see it.
Okay.
Not with the way they've handled him in the new canon.
Well, I'm still gonna leave that open to possibility there because.
And here's another thing.
It might be.
Here's another thing with Thrawn. If he's commanding such a big contingent of the Empire remnant, why is Ahsoka asking the question, where is he? I feel like you would know the general vicinity
There has
in which
to,
he was operating.
There
if
has
he's
to be a
operating something
point.
big.
There has to be a point where things come together and we find out. I mean, you know.
Right. But I'm just saying, if he's operating a contingent of the Imperial remnants that's this big, you would at least have a general idea where he's at. Not sound so, where is he? Like, I have no idea where he's at.
I'm not so sure. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I'm not having a hard time believing that he could pull something together coming back. You know what I'm saying? It's Thrawn.
I don't disagree that he could. He could. He absolutely probably could. You know, he was super high ranking, pretty well known. He could definitely pull forces together. I just don't know that would be his goal. I mean, it just kind of muddies up what he was going for, right? Unless he handled his other stuff.
Well,
or his civilization got destroyed.
I mean, yeah, that's the thing. We know nothing about any of that at this point, you know? So, I don't know. I think it could go any of the ways we've talked about here, which is kind of cool, actually, when you think about it.
I dig it.
So,
all right. Before we get out of here, we should talk about the part that irritated me a little bit.
Okay. Pershing. Yes.
Which is funny. It's literally the majority of this episode.
Yes, totally.
But I did unfairly poo-poo it a little bit. But it's just my irritation with this series. I just don't feel like I'm getting enough of the title character.
Okay.
But anyway, Coruscant. I'm a little confused at that. Like, so the beginning that shows him like seems like proposing, carrying on his research and what he did. It didn't seem like
Okay, so that to me. Okay, first off, that whole scene in the opera house and all that was beautiful, right? That was like, that took me right back to episode 3.
Oh, well, the entire time we spent on Coruscant was visually beautiful.
Yes. So I couldn't go on without mentioning that. But so that right there seemed to me like a scenario where you're from the Empire and you're, what they call them?
Oh, shoot.
Yeah. You were the bad guys. Now you're going to be good guys on a contingent basis working for us. This is part of what I think they need to do for their quote unquote atonement for working for the Empire. You know what I'm saying? Get up in front of the populace, explain who you were, what you did, that you regret it now, and how you're going to help us. You know, that sort of thing. That's what it felt like to me. It wasn't a pitch meeting, I don't think, so much as it was, this is the bad stuff I was kind of doing, you know. So he clearly still believed in what he was doing back then, you know. But
yeah, okay. So, what's the word you're looking for? It was the amnesty program.
Amnesty program, yes. He was part of the amnesty program, yes. So anyway, that's the way I took that. This is kind of a get up there and talk about how you were a bad guy.
Okay. Yeah, it didn't seem like a tribunal thing to me. Like,
no.
It almost seemed like he was addressing a governing body almost, and doing so in a way. It seemed like he was pitching the good that his research was.
Right. At least in the manner. So okay. I'm going to throw this out there. You notice when he told the story about his mother, he grabbed his ear. just like he did when he was talking to the droid. Right? That's a tell. It was a clear tell. He's lying.
Right.
Okay. So, where's it going with that? What was the point you just made?
Oh, that he was pitching his research being for good?
Right. So that story explains away why he was doing the things he was doing.
Right.
Right. So that's like a good enough reason for him to get into that, and not just for nefarious purposes. But I think he was lying.
Okay.
Because of that tell. So apparently, and this is this one I gotta say was telegraphed out to us a little bit here. Where, he gets done and the people are wanting to talk to him, and they're talking about, oh, I was almost drafted and this and that, and it's like Empire, Republic, Rebels, whatever. I can't keep it all straight, People are so flippant about it there.
Right.
And then, the New Republic has clandestine forces at work to make sure that these members of the whatever amnesty group are staying on the straight and narrow, and if they stray off of it, boom, re-education. So it for me, this was a good look into, okay, you have a whole galaxy full of people who were working for the Empire. Well, that's over now. How do we handle all these people? It's not like you just go and blast them all, right? They even allude to that. It's like, things would have been different under the Empire, all of that kind of stuff. I love getting a little peek into, because it's the nuances of, how would all these people be dealt with, I mean, you're talking
Right.
a galaxy-wide scale. They even mention a trillion people on Coruscant, So, I don't know. I dug it. You hate him.
I didn't hate it.
Okay.
I mean, it was one of those things, like I said, it's one of those things. If this show didn't do this so frequently, I wouldn't have a problem with it.
Right.
Because this one, and I'm being a little unfair, because this one has to do with this show. This is a character that we're getting familiar.
We were introduced.
We're getting
in
all our
season
information
1.
from him in the show.
Yeah.
So he's a character in the show, even though he got lobotomized in this one.
Right.
And I feel like that's the end of Pershing.
It could be, yes.
I mean,
But-
he's not going to know who.
But it does highlight, what's her name? Elia Kane. How she's got to still be working for Gillian. I mean, or
Can't
the
have this
Empire.
dude talking.
Right. That exactly. Persian cannot be talking. That's the whole thing that we're taking away from his part here.
Which means that everything that he did research on is probably still in play.
Absolutely.
To maybe clone the Emperor or something.
Well, I think that's where we're heading with this.
Yes,
For
I
sure.
agree.
Which, I mean, that's where our canon is now. So, I mean,
Right.
this has all got to play into that. So,
There was obviously a cloned body for the Emperor.
right.
The whole thing didn't work out with, him being able to transfer into these clones and them remain.
Right.
So I'm guessing that this was an ongoing thing, hopping from clone to clone to clone, and still staying marionetted. Like,
Marionetted.
Yeah, if that's a word.
Yeah.
But where was I going with that?
Well,
yeah.
He clearly had knowledge, right? From his presentation, he was explaining all that. And, you know, he didn't give out details, but it was clear he had enough knowledge to where somebody like Gideon is going to want him silenced.
Yes.
You know, if he can't be brought back into the fold, he's got to be silenced. So that's where I think we ended up with him. You know, if we didn't get this episode, then Pershing is always going to be a loose end out there. You know,
Right.
So, you know, because we would at least have, you know, the question in our mind, like, you know, what's going on with them, kind of thing, or, you know, whatever happened to. So, but yeah, I don't know. I hope we get to see where Elia Kane goes from here, and I do got to say I did love seeing that, you know, for as bad as the Empire was, the Republic has its own dark sides to it, you know, and we're getting to see some of that out in the forefront. So,
Dark side how?
well, you're in this amnesty program, but we're going to have people watching you too. You know, like,
Well, I mean, that just makes nothing but sense, though.
well, it's also right.
It's also an internment camp, but
yeah, exactly. That's the point I'm getting at. You
Okay.
know? And there's also the populace of Coruscant itself, who don't really care if it's an empire or a rebellion or a republic, you know.
right.
And it's like the juxtaposition right there is like, okay, both the people fighting with the Empire and the people fighting with the Republic, it's like, what are they fighting for if the people just don't care one way or the other? You know, it's kind of, it brings that question out to the fore, which is like, yeah, maybe you should be asking yourself that, you know?
Right.
That's what I was getting at.
Yeah.
That's the kind of, I like having those questions posed and being able to think about them, because, you know, those and this is just gonna tie it back to the other one for just a quick second. It's those types of questions that make me take something from Star Wars, and I can apply that some form or fashion to the world I live in. Okay? Unlike the Bad Batch, where they took stuff from our world we live in and tried to impart it onto Star Wars, I think
a fair assessment.
I think I like it better the way it was done with the Mandalorian.
Yeah, I mean, the real world connection makes it relatable, but it's the avenue for that connection that matters.
Right. It's yeah. I like
Outside in or inside out.
it, right. And I like it when I can take stuff away from Star Wars and, you know, find the relevance in life, you know.
Right on. Well, if you have anything to add, you can always email us, show@thewarsandmore.com. It's the best way to get a hold of us. We're also on social media, @thewarsandmore on Twitter, Facebook.com/The Wars and More. You can find all that and all the ways to find the show over at thewarsandmore.com. Any final thoughts this week, Doug?
No, I think that about covers it.
All right. We will talk next week.